Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So Apple has finally terminated Epic Games App Store development account, so no future Fortnite updates according to Eurogamer, and this is from Bloomberg. So Apple said here in the highlighted section, quote, "We are disappointed that we have had to terminate Epic Games account on the App Store. We have worked with the team at Epic Games for many years on their launches and releases. The court recommended that Epic comply with the App Store guidelines while their case moves forward. Guidelines they have followed of the past decade until they created this situation, which is trying to have all the money of microtransactions go to them directly instead of having to pay a 30% cut for Apple because they use the Apple Store." The quote continues, "Epic has refused. Instead, they repeatedly submit Fortnite updates designed to violate the guidelines of the App Store. This is not fair to all other developers on the App Store and is putting customers in the middle of their fight." And I wholeheartedly agree that Epic is trying to mobilize its player base against Apple. They even had this free Fortnite hashtag and they throw a lot of shade on Apple, and they clearly want players who play Fortnite, and especially on their iOS platform, to have this animosity for Apple because iOS players cannot play Fortnite anymore. The quote says, "We hope that we can work together again in the future, but unfortunately that is not possible today." End of quote. So yeah, and just like the quote from Apple says, probably Epic should have just, complied with the Apple Store guidelines while having a case that could probably be like bigger advantage for Epic, because they would seem like this company that's not really happy with what's happening or with the status quo, quote unquote, while at the same time trying to change things without having to resort to these sneaky things like changing the payment methods that are clearly breaching the guidelines of the Apple Store. The fundamental premise that Apple and Google take 30% from developers is bad. I think that a lot of people would agree with that, myself included. 30% is a little bit a lot to ask, especially it affects smaller developers, and probably they should have had something like, 20% or 12%, just like what Epic Games does with developers on the Epic Games Store. They probably take 12% in there, so yeah, it's less than what Steam takes and whatnot. But again, I think the way that Epic did this is a little bit disingenuous, and especially trying to have the player base like stand against Apple. This is a corporate on corporate war. Player base should have nothing to do with this, because the money they're paying either goes to Apple or goes to Epic. Now, of course, Epic is trying to convince its player base that you will pay less money if you pay us directly, but then again, even that is a little disingenuous from Epic Games, because they didn't actually remove that 30% that Apple takes, and get their usual 70%. It's more like they want to get more money from you. So why should I, as a customer, care for this cut that either Epic or Apple Store takes? Of course, I will care if I pay less money, but again, I shouldn't be involved in this war between the two companies. One company that is $1 billion and another one which is $1 trillion worth, or probably even more. And here the article says that it does not, this ban, affect the secondary developer account for Unreal Engine, and actually Apple wanted to even block Unreal Engine development, and that's why Microsoft was kinda teaming up with Epic Games on this, specifically the Unreal Engine ban, because Microsoft is using the Unreal Engine, and Microsoft is focusing a lot on the Game Pass and games on the cloud, and some games you may not necessarily play on the Xbox, but rather like streaming service or whatnot. So yeah, it was understandable that Microsoft would team up with Epic Games so that Apple doesn't block or hinder the Unreal Engine development in the iOS Apple Store, because it doesn't affect only Epic Games and Microsoft, it also affects other smaller developers. And I think it's not really a good idea to just, have Apple block Unreal Engine regardless of their war against the Epic Games Store. And here we have another news about PlayStation 5 and the pre-orders, and obviously you're gonna pre-order the PlayStation 5 without even knowing the price, which is like a very stupid move. It seems that PlayStation and Sony and Microsoft are really holding on to their cards very tight. We're only a short amount of time before the consoles release, and they still refuse to tell the price of the consoles because everyone wants to undercut the other. And you know that in the PlayStation 4 era, PlayStation 4, alongside with its excellent first-party titles, benefited from the stupid moves that Xbox One did, that Microsoft did, especially shoving that Kinect off the throats of its customers, which costed like $100 more, and very early on people couldn't even play like game discs from their friends. So if you borrowed a game disc from your friend, you couldn't play it because it was tied to the console that it first ran on. So that was a very stupid move as well. So yeah, both Xbox and PlayStation here don't want to make any kind of mistake that would benefit the competition, but holding on to the prices. Like now we are almost in September, so I think that's a very, very stupid thing to do. If they want to undercut each other, they should probably launch a console with a very good price, very competitive, and then if they see that the competition is doing something like to undercut more, then yeah, think about something to incentivize your customers and not necessarily hiding the price until the very last moment. And even more, telling people, hey, you can pre-order the PS5, but we're not going to tell you the price. What kind of stupid thing is this? Why am I gonna pre-order something that I don't even know if I can afford or not? That's very, very stupid. And they're trying to tell you, hey, you're not going to get a PlayStation 5 if you don't pre-order. So that's like the gist of it. And they're saying that there will be a limited quantity of PS5 consoles available for pre-order, and contrary to what they said, because they said earlier that they would really work hard on the development of the console, like the production of it, so that they cater for the demand they're expecting to have. So they say here there will be a limited quantity of PS5 consoles available for pre-order, so we will be inviting some of our existing consumers to be one of the first to pre-order one from the PlayStation. Pre-order reservations will be taken on a first-come, first-served basis, so once you get an invite email, we encourage you to follow instructions and act fast. So they're trying to put like this pressure on you to pre-order a console, and there will be a lot of people who would pre-order this console, especially seeing the reputation of the PS5 and Sony in general. Some people would try to get their hands on more than one console so that they sell it at a higher price. That is also a very possible scenario in there, especially if there aren't many consoles enough for the demand. But if I had to choose, I wouldn't pre-order the PS5 or even the Series X. I would wait because, you know, the first consoles might come with some kind of serious problems. We have had those problems in the PS3 and Xbox 360 era, red ring of death in the Xbox 360, overheating issues and whatnot. I don't see why a customer would have to pre-order this unless they would make money from it. I don't know, like a big streamer would want to have a PS5 on their hands, like to be one of the first customers, so that would generate more revenue for them. And here they have this frequently asked questions. If you want to know more about the pre-order, I'm not going to read it, I'm just going to leave the links in the description down below so that you know how this pre-order works. But again, there is no price, so yeah, we don't know how much this thing is gonna cost. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I will talk to you again soon. Have a good one.